Chair recognizes the gentleman from Iowa, Mr. King, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, General Lynch, for your testimony today. I'd ask first that in that happenstance meeting on the tarmac in Phoenix, was there any discussion that might have implied anything with regard to the investigations of the Clintons, be it the Clinton Foundation or the investigation of the FBI into Hillary Clinton's emails?
No, sir, there was not.
Zero implications.
There was nothing about any investigations or any specific cases or any of the other matters that you have mentioned in your question.
And when did you learn about that meeting?
As I was getting ready to leave the plane, I had landed and I was getting ready to disembark from the plane. I learned that the former president wanted to say hello, and I agreed to say hello to him.
Was there any staff in that meeting, or was it the two of you alone?
Well, my husband was with me during our conversations. There were also I believe there were also two members of the flight crew on board the plane to whom the former president said hello.
Okay, thank you. Are you aware that Hillary Clinton has repeatedly lied to the public about her emails and her email servers and in public forums and, say, campaign speeches and interviews with the press? Are you aware of that?
I have no comment on a characterization of any candidate and their statements.
I would point out that most of the rest of America is aware of that, and including her political supporters, who will continually say that they will support her even though she lied publicly. I would also point out October 9th, 2015, Barack Obama stated that Hillary Clinton did not endanger national security. The whole issue was, quote, ginned up by Republicans. That was October 9, 2015. On October 10th, he stated that Hillary Clinton was, quote, careless, but had not been intentionally endangering national security. It's curious to me that that turns out to be the very word that the lack of prosecution hinges upon is intent, even though the statute doesn't require intent. And when you see a president publicly make a statement like that, are you concerned that it might influence the decision on prosecution?
Well, as I've been asked about that statement, and as I've clarified before, the Department of Justice had no input into it, and certainly my view has always been that the team working on this did their work independently and without any political influence.
For the information that's been available to you, do you believe that Hillary Clinton knowingly removed classified information?
I don't have a comment on or a characterization.
I understand that, and also do you believe that she had intent to keep unauthorized information in an unauthorized location? And you have no comment on that?
No, I'd refer you to my statement on the recommendations that I accepted.
And I understand that. Now, the hinge of this thing, and according to Mr. Sensenbrenner, and I'll say myself, the definition of the word gross negligence, in that Director Comey used the term extreme carelessness, and Mr. Sensenbrenner asked you to define the difference between that and gross negligence. Do you find it ironic that the last examination of a Clinton in this room, the previous one, Bill Clinton, excuse me, before this Judiciary Committee, not technically in this room, hinged on the meaning of the word is? Looks to me like this investigation is hinging upon the meaning of extreme carelessness versus gross negligence. Do you actually see that there's a difference between those two words?
Congressman, I always start with the statute, with any review that is being done on any matter by the Department of Justice. And we look at the statute, legislative history, case law, and we look at the facts as they're developed by an investigation and apply them to that statute and to that standard. And that is what the team did in this case, and that was, I believe, the basis for their recommendation.
Director Comey stated in his press conference that they didn't have evidence that the classified information or the top secret information had been hacked by a foreign actor. But neither did he state that they had any evidence that it had not been hacked, nor did, and he stated also it would be unlikely that we would know if it had been. Now, under Snowden, we have to operate as if any information he had access to is now in the possession of foreign hostile actors. Would you believe that's the same thing with any information that Hillary Clinton had on her private server? We have to act as if it were in the hands of a hostile foreign actor.
I don't have a comment on a characterization or comparison of Mr. Snowden and Mrs. Clinton.
Well, just answer the part about Hillary Clinton then, please, General Lynch.
You had asked me
the information that was on her server that we have to presume now that it's in the hands of hostile foreign actors. Do we have to handle it as if that's the case? And if so, didn't that endanger our national security?
Congressman, I think that you'd have to look at the facts of the matter and determine whether or not there had been access. And as the director indicated, I believe he's responded to that.
And it
as
is
to
a
whether or
very
not-
serious matter, and it's been covered up, General Lynch. Now you back.